roll. Call meeting to order and open with the flag. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Gilman,
Here.
Haslam,
Present.
Horn,
Yes.
Underwood,
Here.
Lehman.
Here. All right, how about approving the agenda?
Move to approve the agenda as presented.
I'll second. Motion support. All in favor? Aye. Motion passes. Conflict of interest. Any conflicts of interest? All right, public comment. I will read something, then you're welcome to make a public.
Any person may make an advanced appointment with the board regarding road commission topics for a regular or special meeting in accordance with the Open Meetings Act. If an appointment is made, the topic will be an agenda item. The following applies to public comments. Please state his or her name and township or district. Topic must be relevant to the road commission. Individuals are allowed to speak once for up to 3 minutes on a single topic, which may be extended by the chair. A group addressing the board requires a designated spokesperson who may speak up to 10 minutes. The board will not act on any item from the public that is not on the agenda.
Justin Reed, I'm my township resident, I'm a city resident. I do believe that within the next 2 years, there might be another detour that MDOT is gonna have you guys tap. And that would be the M113 and M307 project roundabout out there. That's supposed to commence sometime in 2028. However, I looked at the 5-year transit study that they've done, and it doesn't seem like it's on the 2028 agenda. So I just want to say that. Thank you.
Action items. Hey.
First of our 2 action items, this evening, Hammond Road, a 3-mile signal modernization. The engineer's estimate on that was $478,000. The low bid came from Strain Electric for $488,353, which was within 2% of the engineer's estimate. Recommending award of the work to Strain Electric. We don't have a work history with them, but they are an MDOT pre-qualified electrical contractor.
Where is from?
Grand Rapids.
Grand Rapids.
I will make the motion that we accept the Strain Electric bid for $488,353 for the Hammond and 3-mile signal modernization.
Support. We have motion support. Is there any discussion?
I just have a question on when the engineer's estimate was done. Was it just recent?
It was prior to the previous solicitation.
Yeah, it was before you.
Yeah.
Older.
So as old as the other one we're looking at tonight?
I don't think anything changed from previous.
I don't think this one was big.
The
This
last
was
one-
the 25S3, the Keystone, sorry.
Yeah, when did the
Hammond 3-mile.
estimate happen?
The Hammond and 3-mile estimate was just recently
Okay.
completed with the update of the plans.
Gotcha. Okay, thanks.
All right, Kylie, call the roll, please.
Haslam,
Yes.
Horn,
Yes.
Underwood,
Yes.
Gilman,
Yes.
Lehman.
Yes. Okay, how about this,
Keystone and Burnley, engineer's estimate, $411,075. Low bid was Strain Electric on this as well, in the amount of $522,749. That is down from previous low bid from our advertisement in March at $558,405. And we've had no recent history with Strain Electric, but they are MDOT pre-qualified. And so I would recommend that we award the bid to Strain Electric.
I'll make a motion that we award the bid to Strain Electric for $522,749. Is there support?
I'll support it. Okay, so motion made and supported. Further discussion?
27% over, the estimate. Obviously, the estimate was not, maybe it wasn't real recent. But also, this is, in my view, less necessary than immediate need, given the construction and agreement. So I just don't see this as something I want to spend money on just at this time.
So I recall when it was up in March, and when I asked about the engineer's estimate at that time, I think the engineer's estimate at that time, from what I recall, was done a while back, and that was in March. And apparently the reason that was given for the high bid of 558 was that between the time that the engineer's estimate happened and the bids went out and came back, there had been increase in prices and sure all of that stuff. And that was the explanation given. So, and so I don't know. And I recall correctly, it's the same engineer's estimate as here, right? From that. So it
That's
was
correct.
updated. So I don't know if an engineer's estimate would be done now, for example, at the same time that the Hammond and 3 Mile was done, whether it would be, I'm sure it will be different. It will be probably quite a bit different. So I do know that at least my reasoning at that time for not voting in favor of it was because I felt that 558 was quite high, even given the fact that we are dealing with railroad crossing and there are additional factors to be taken into consideration than a typical intersection. So we sent it out for a rebid and we got a lower price. We got brought down from 558,405 to 522,749.
One of the reasons, my understanding at the time we were talking about, one of the reasons that we wanted to have this work done is because we have occasional problems with it that require a technician's work. We can pay a technician for a lot of years go and spending this to almost babysit it. I just.
Yeah, and I guess Neil, maybe Neil, you can answer this or not. I understand that the Hammond and 3 Mile signal modernization is happening because of the construction project we are doing. But what needs to be modernized on these signals that is not already there? I get, what's the justification for that? I guess is my
I
question.
mean, in general, there's a lifespan to traffic signals. Probably an accepted average is probably somewhere between 20 and 25 years. I mean, you get components that start to fail, the wire insulation, there's detection issues out there now. The cabinet itself, you can't really take new components and plug them into an old cabinet, probably similar to like a computer. You can't put new parts into a 20-year-old computer. They just don't interact. So you do a full cabinet replacement, wiring needs to be done. So I don't have an exact age of what's out there, but it probably falls within that range of being close to or at its expected lifespan.
At both these intersections, Hammond and 3 Mile and Keystone.
The Hammond and 3 Mile does have a configuration change that's happening.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that justifies that. Okay. But the reasoning is that the Keystone and Burnley signal is probably at the end of its lifespan.
And we remember what happens. I mean, playing devil's advocate, we remember what happened at the base of Rainier when that light just went.
Right. Yeah.
It just one day just decided to stop working.
Yeah.
That was not a lot of fun.
Yeah, and I understand that right now, obviously, there's not as much traffic there, but there will be. But once the bridge is up and running, operational. Okay.
I just have one comment. These are our 2 lights this year, correct? I'm looking past you, Neil, because he was in the previous discussion. I don't mean to be rude to you. I'm just kind of. Because doesn't our asset plan, say 2 a year?
Our asset management plan was to be 2 a year.
And this will be our 2.
This is actually a delay of our asset management plan. The Keystone Burnley was supposed to be a 25 project along with the Parsons and 3 Mile, which we have not presented to you. We held off on presenting Parsons and 3 Mile so that we could include the one over here at Hammond and 3 Mile. And so the next ones that should be 26 projects were supposed to be our Hammond and 3 Mile, and then the one over there at Cass and South Airport.
So this is keeping us on track.
So we're trying to keep on track. We're actually a little bit behind in terms of the projects that were completed in 25 in relation with signals.
So we just put up a light at Hartman and 31
That's spare parts.
on a spare parts, pretty big span, but not all, most of it, I think. I guess we got a light put up there for $110,000 across a pretty big street, and it works great. Is it our specifications that make them cost so much? That's a 31 in Hartman's a really busy corner right now, and it's the MDOT corridor, and we put up a light there for $110,000.
But we right.
Voted for it.
Yeah, no, I understand that, but I think that like the engineers can comment on it a little bit more. But I don't think the Hammond light and the Hartman light and the US 31 light has any detection sensors or anything like that. It's just timing. It's just that's why the other day when I was heading back from a policy committee meeting, I took Hartman and I had to stop at the entrance to Live Harbors because traffic was backed up to that because of the traffic, not because of the traffic that was turning right on South Airport, but traffic that was turning left on South Airport. So I think it's timing.
You mean US 31?
US 31, sorry, yeah. So I think that's a difference that it's not the kind of signals that we are talking about here, but these guys can comment a little bit more about what that is.
I mean, I don't know particular to all of these locations, but there is, I've previously done projects where you use a diagonal span and you've got 2 poles, you're running 1 span diagonally across the intersection rather than a box where you've got a string pole on each quadrant and you're connecting them all in a box. I mean, there's been times where we've reused poles, but you have to look at those things closely. If it can be done, it's not feasible in every instance, but there are opportunities to. And if we're on a Fed aid or safety project, you're generally going to be doing a box configuration. For our internal projects, we can look at other alternatives. But particular to this location, I don't know the circumstances. I don't have the background of needs of the railroad or other things that might.
We're swapping out now. You made the reference to computer components, and that makes sense. I mean, when you're talking about plugging something in or the width of the box is appropriate, is it necessary that we even mess with the configuration? I mean, is it truly necessary to spend $500,000 to run new wire harnesses in the same locations and then replace the inner components inside the box? I mean, do we have to spend $500,000 to do this? I guess is the question. Are our standards requiring us to do a pole reconfiguration? What is happening there that makes it cost that much? Do we have to add, the push button things? Is that part of the configuration that we have to have as a requirement? For people to walk across. What is it that really necessitates that expense? So instead of, why can't we just use the posts that are there, the cables that are there, and just replace the wiring harnesses?
Are you referring to the Hammond and 3 Mile?
No,
the Keystone.
Yeah.
The decision to proceed with the design phase on that one actually came prior to me being involved in the Y.
So it was a Wayne project.
It was a Derek project in coordination with our signals department, and the evaluations that were done both in terms of the repeat service request for that intersection and the maintenance that's been done in-house, and also based off of our reports from our structural testing that was completed out there at that intersection. I think that one was 3 years ago now.
And I guess and a follow-up question is in terms of the cost and everything, it is also an MDOT intersection. Given the railroad there, is there any participation at this intersection with MDOT? And can we request that based on that at all?
I hardly doubt it. As far as rail is concerned, we are trespassers across their right of way, and they have
Got it.
granted us permission to be there,
It's
and it
just a
will be at our
question. I
expense.
appreciate that. All right.
I think I had asked the question on the first one because I had remembered what Hyder said, that I assume this was the original bid when it first came to us in March, which was older. So this just goes to show how much things appreciate over just less than a year's time as far as the engineers. So, I mean, we made a commitment to fixing 2 lights a year and upgrading our light system. So it seems like we would do it. We have lights, they need to be updated, and we know they're about $500,000 a piece. And so we set that aside in our budget every year when we do our budget, and they had a plan, and we had to swap this year because of the project at Hammond, but still it's the net is the same thing. So yeah, obviously I would support that.
Well, being no further discussion, let's call the roll. Please.
Horn,
Yes.
Underwood,
Yes.
Gilman.
Yes.
Cadlam,
Yes.
Lehman.
Motion passes. Okay, do we have any managers' comments? Do you have anything you want to pass to us?
I'll just share a couple things, construction related, obviously the big one being the update on Beitner. We had the award from MDOT last Tuesday. We had our pre-construction meeting with MDOT and the contractor last Thursday. They provided a schedule, talked through a number of issues related to the project. So their intent is to start stockpiling material out on site the middle of this week and begin construction next Monday. They indicated their plan was to have 2 crews on site working, 1 crew on each side of the boardman. They were going to work 6 days a week. It's a fairly aggressive schedule, obviously, to get it done. They're going to give it everything they've got, and they're expressing confidence in being able to meet that schedule of having it return to traffic. So,
Is there a projected date for just opening it for traffic? I understand that there'll still be other things going on.
I mean, they're trying to meet the completion date of mid-November.
I understand it's a projection.
So
Is there anything else we need to do to help you with that?
not at this time.
Because I think we're probably all motivated to get this done.
There is.
Just a couple other updates to pass along. Frankie Road, everything seems to be going well. They got their drainage work done. They're out pouring curb and gutter and drive approaches, getting concrete flat work done. They'll hopefully be starting to pave around the middle of the month and be on schedule for completion.
Before school starts, it's awesome.
Forceful. Yeah.
Hammond Road is getting started Hammond and the 3 mile project is getting started this week for safe routes. And then next week we'll be transitioning into the intersection work. Elmer's did propose so that they can better coordinate the safe routes. The paving project that they do west of the intersection first, rather than working to the east first. That way they're not paving the east portion and then running their equipment on it, trying to do the pathway work. So after they get the intersection, the week of the 17th, they're going to do the town line to 3 mile section first.
Is any of that gonna require complete closure? So, okay.
The intersection will.
It's the 10th through the 15th.
So we have message signs out already for the work that's going on this week. The hope is in the next couple days, we'll transition to some messaging, alerting people to the intersection closure. next
What's the
week.
detour route that we're using?
They'll have it's Garfield to up to
Garfield to airport to
Yeah,
3
South Line.
mile to the highway, 4 mile back down to Hammond.
We did put out a video, we put out a press release, and then also even letting people know like town line is closed to through trucks always, but town
Always.
line is not a detour.
It'll be
Trying
used
to-
as that.
I know, trying to preserve it as best as
Yeah.
possible, but
So the intersection of Hammond and 3 Mile will be closed from August 10th to the 15th. Okay.
and we did get it all out, like message wise last week.
So people got to go Potter and over.
I would think, yeah.
Hmm.
I mean,
It'd be interesting.
the timing of it though worked because, as you know, that's a polling location right there. So after the election tomorrow, but it's well prior to the school administrative staffs and the sports kind of
Well,
going.
and
on.
interestingly, as a polling location, the local people will then be able to see that if we have the message boards out there, or those, and they'll be able to see what's going on.
Yep, so that is, you'll have some extra traffic in there for that.
Cool.
Yeah, let's see. South Airport at Boardman, we have a consultant that's doing some, looking at repairs to, the river there. They've been out and done their topo. I'm having a meeting with them this week to talk about next steps in terms of, more permanent repair to that. And the corresponding Eagle permitting we need to do. So trying to get that lined up so we can get approval to put something out or get something out to bid for repair this fall.
And that's supposed to buy like 10 years.
Sorry, what repair? are you
Yeah.
talking about?
Just
So we get the plan for
to
this.
sturdy it up.
It's likely some riprap.
Okay.
Yeah. The cones have been up there since the.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so the shoulder issues off.
Right, right.
So we put out a little messaging on that too, but yeah, they said in the engineering thing that it could give us about 10 years,
Yeah.
which is more than what we need.
And when they do,
Yeah.
when they do the repairs, will they have to close off that particular direction?
I think they'll be able to do it under lane closure probably,
Okay.
but the timing of it will be
Okay.
sometime after Labor Day.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
That would be much better. There's so much going on.
Cedar Run at Straight, we've acquired the property easement at that corner. We've done the tree clearing and put the fill section in. We're working to get talking about getting somebody to pave that in along the new radius. And probably put some HMA curb there to keep the water away from that area in the curve, and then pave it back and put the guardrail in. So
Is it like projected to be like by the end of this month to be completed, do you think?
I'm hopeful because of the situation, we can get it done as soon as we can, but Larry was the one that was talking to a contractor about that.
Already that's been taken online as to when it will get hit, how soon it will get.
Will it make it? Will it make it to the pit? Will it make it until the repairs are?
Yeah. Well, once the guardrail is up, there'll be a target, Yeah. Okay, thanks.
Then lastly, we've sent out an RFP to our as needed design consultants for Zimmerman Road extension. Basically to give us a preliminary design, maybe a 50% design that we can then take and get
And begin
input, public
negotiations.
feedback on, understand what all the scope involved with, right away and grading and all of those things. So those proposals are due back the 24th. Hopefully we'll have something for the next monthly meeting to do.
But it doesn't seem like much, but it's it really could have a huge effect in that corridor there.
Somebody's been there doing a lot of work. There's, I believe it's utilities. It looks like to me, giant spools of stuff. There's some excavators. I don't know if it's the people that own the property. I don't know what it is, but there's quite a bit of work being done there.
By the government.
Whatever.
You know, at the turnaround. You know, the circle.
Cul-de-sac.
Yeah.
That one guy's
Yeah.
building whatever.
Yeah, so there is that, but that wouldn't be that area.
I couldn't quite figure it out.
There's that O'Grady thing going on, but I don't think that would go extend all the way back to where you're talking.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys have a chance, just drive down there, you'll be able to see it. I can't quite tell what it is, but there's been a trailer of like large schools of something there for probably 2 to 3 weeks now. And then some dirt movers and stuff. It could be early stuff on the subdivision there. I don't know. I couldn't quite tell. But it's confusing to me what they would be doing because the entry to their sub is in the middle of our circle and they don't have it. So I was
Yeah.
confused. John might know. Maybe somebody at Garfield knows. I don't know, but something going on there.
Anything else? That's all I have. Commissioners? Public comment again? Okay.
So I want to say that the Beitner and Keystone, the signal right there. So eventually, it might be 5 years, it might be 10 years. Hell, it might even be the end of the universe when the passenger train goes out there. But you know, you're gonna that lifespan of that equipment there is probably 15 years old, 20 years old, and it has to be replaced. And the voting to go ahead and pass this is good. Because eventually if the passenger train does go out there, you guys have the capacity to deal with. And also I want to mention that regarding Garfield and Hammond, one of the push buttons for the pedestrian signal, it's interesting. It says push button to turn on warning lights. I think that's might put the wrong sign on that pedestrian signal right there. Because it sounds like a clock signal, not a pedestrian signal. So thank you.
Thank you. Motion to adjourn.
Adjourn, so moved.
Okay, adjourn.